conversation right now about jobs usually revolves around unemployment. Is it rising? Are the numbers correct? Etc. But there's rarely enough talk about how to keep your job, how to keep yourself relevant in this job market. In this new segment on India Development Debate, we will focus regularly on jobs of the future, speaking to experts on how people can make themselves future ready and to find out which jobs will be redundant as automation and technological changes impact the way work is done. Kicking off this segment with us on IDD this evening is Pawan Goyal, Chief Business Officer at Naukri.com. Mr. Goyal, thank you for joining us today. Let me ask you the obvious questions. Are robots and technology and automation going to make all of us or a lot of us redundant, say, in the next decade?
Yeah, that's a great question. Ever since, if you go back 300 years ago, Industrial Revolution started, this has been a question on a lot of people's mind. At the time, a lot of people were employed in agriculture, and the thought was, as machines were taking over, the jobs will become redundant, and people will be unemployed. But look at what history has shown us. There are completely new industries came up, and people found employment in those. So though the trend of automation is there, it's moving from just physical to more cognitive. I think the trend is there, but I do believe that the nature of jobs will change, but the unemployment will not increase. Okay? So what happens as people, routine jobs get automated, their time frees up, and they're able to do higher and more complex stuff. And they can invest in activities they could not have. So for example, if you go a few hundred years ago, leisure travel would not have existed. And that has now resulted into a completely new set of industry. So I think one set of jobs get eliminated, others come in, and that's been the history, and that I don't see that changing over the next few years, or next several decades.
Okay, let's talk about sectors, and of course the flow of traffic and data and information that you see at Naukri would give us some very interesting insights, Mr. Goyal, on where is the demand seeming to grow. Right now we're all talking about the gig economy, and people are wondering if there is enough sustainability in something like that. Do you think that the trends point in that direction?
Yeah, we do see, certainly see an increase in gig economy, and a lot of people who are part-time workers, they are coming into the mainstream and contributing. So if I look at the traffic or the search query share on Naukri, the part-time or the gig economy is certainly growing. Now also in terms of skills that are coming in demand, if you go back probably 5 years ago, data science, machine learning, they were very early skills, and so there wasn't much demand. But now that's one of the hot skills that are quite in demand now.
Okay. What about flexibility? Now you're seeing the newer generation that is coming into the job market does not want to look at jobs the way maybe their parents did, where you come in and you have that kind of loyalty and devotion and you stay in one job for the span of your career. There are very quick number of changes. There's a lot of focus on work-life balance. Is all of this in cognizance with what companies are looking for?
Yes, and you're absolutely spot on the kind of things that the next generation is looking at. They want to search on work-life balance. They look, when they come to our portal, the kind of perks it is, whether it's a women-friendly company. All those trends, it's very different, and people are looking for flexibility in their work hours. So it's very different from the generation that I belong to. Okay, so the things are what you see, what you're saying. We see that in the data on Naukri.
Okay, can you take us into a bit of detail, especially on sectors? Which sectors are seeing the most growth from the data that you receive, and which ones are seeing a dwindling in demand?
So I can't paint a long-term picture from that point in terms of industry, but we do publish our Job Speak report. So if I look at from the 6-month horizon, We do see significant slowdown in automobile, telecom, but we do see a significant growth in IT. Even though there were concerns around whether how the Indian IT industry would grow, it's actually at this time booming, and there's a significant growth that we see in IT at this time.
Okay. What are the jobs that are definitely going to be redundant in the next 10 years? If I ask you to, gaze into the crystal ball, what are the kind of, jobs that currently exist which will be completely replaced?
Yeah, if you, let's say, let's take a store clerk, okay? Somebody who's doing checkout job, and I'm sure you're aware of Amazon who has built automated checkout. So there are a lot of that simple routine job that anybody could do, a machine can automate, that will go away. Transport, one of the biggest sectors that employs people, that's actually in worldwide, that's the biggest employment sector. I think whether it's a decade or 2 decades, hard to predict, but that certainly will lead to significant loss of jobs. Okay, but so these are all very routine tasks that I think will get automated away.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you so much, Mr. Goyal, for speaking to us today. And this is something that we will be doing regularly on the India Development Debate. So if you have any inputs, you have any questions on jobs of the future, do write in to us, get in touch with us, and we'll keep you updated the next time we focus on jobs of the future. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on the India Development Debate. We'll catch you back here on Monday.